Good morning, everybody. Take a seat. Thank you. Demo pick companies, I will stare at you until you sit down in a seat. Thank you. I'll make it super uncomfortable. One of the key things, Rob, about running a conference is you have to establish your control of the room. Okay? Just like Mick Jagger, Lou Reed, okay, or Katy Perry. She comes out. I don't know if did you go to the witness tour?
No, but I see the parallels, you and Katy Perry. So.
Yeah. On the witness tour, she just comes out and she's like, look at me. And then everybody looks at her, and then she just, 2 hours later, it's over. Okay. Hey, thanks for coming, everybody. I'm Jason Calacanis, angel investor and internet celebrity, which, by the way, is the equivalent of being the first person voted off the least highly rated reality show on television. Just so we're clear about that. This is my good friend, Rob May. I met Rob because he had a really interesting startup called Backupify. The concept was you cannot trust these big organizations to keep your data safe. If you put your stuff in Gmail, if you put it on Flickr, there's a chance it will get hacked and you'll have no recourse. And I thought, wow, that's a brilliant idea. So I emailed info@Backupify and I said, my name is Jason Calacanis. I would like to invest in your company. Have you ever considered taking an investment?
That was 2009.
2009, and you said?
I said, we were in Louisville, Kentucky, so we were in the Midwest, and I said, yeah, actually we're trying, and it's not going very well, so was happy to talk to you.
And what did I do?
You wrote us a check. You invited me to Open Angel Forum,
right?
Where I became known for drinking a beer while I presented.
Yes.
At the Open Angel Forum.
I was famous, yes, and I gave you 25 grand. Yeah. I think I got back 150.
Yeah, that's
so.
Right. Yeah.
Disaster.
Probably made about eight times your money, right?
Ugh, what a disaster. And in reality, now you're an angel investor, and you understand why 8X is a complete, utter disaster, right?
Yes.
Everybody's like, oh my God, that's such a crazy thing to say, but anytime a company gets bought for 8X what you invested in it, you know that there was an opportunity to go 80.
Well, and I don't know if you heard, so when we sold Backupify, we were doing 10 million in revenue. The product now for the company that bought us is doing over 100 million. So.
And I still have equity in that company.
Do you? Okay, good.
I think so. Did I sell my shares?
I don't know.
So. Oh. Can somebody check on that? Because we might be 80X here. But anyway, I told Rob the same thing I tell all great founders. Hey, if you have another idea, let me know so I can be the first investor. That next idea was Tala. Tell everybody what that business is.
So it started as an AI chatbot company, and we ended up in the customer support automation space. So yeah, well, you can definitely see a demo over here later. I would encourage you to do that. It's pretty awesome technology.
And you decided to start your own little fund.
Yes.
Tell everybody about that.
So when I decided to start angel investing, a bunch of my friend Todd Earwood, who's going to talk in a little while, was starting about the same time. He had sold his company, and then a bunch of our investors from Louisville, Kentucky were like, hey, you guys will see deals we will never see, because I live in Boston, right? And then Todd and I are both out here all the time. So we decided to focus entirely on AI, and this was back in 2015. We had a very small fund where I was personally the largest LP. That fund was fully invested, and so, yeah, so we've done 53 investments.
Well done. You've learned well.
Yeah, mostly AI. Well, that was part of your advice, right? Is like don't do 4 and get cold feet. Like if you're going to do it, you got to commit. Some of them have done really well, and we just did a first close on Fund 2. So
fantastic. And out of we have 25 demo pit tables here, or 30? I think 25. Does anybody have the count? It's about 25 or 30. 30. Of those, how many of those are your investments? Do we get a couple of them in?
Yeah, 3 or 4, and one we have a term sheet out to that'll hopefully be an investment soon.
So there's one in the demo pit that there's a term sheet out to.
And we hope to invest in another 1 or 2 today. So.
Great. So just to give people a little background on why we're doing this event is sponsored by our good friends at IBM, of course Tala, and Rob, and both of my companies, Launch, which is my investment company, which did 55 investments last year, and we'll do probably 80 this year. And Inside.com, which I'm the CEO of, which is an email newsletter business, which we partnered on Inside AI, the newsletter, which is one of our top 3 of 50 newsletters in terms of both open rates, growth, and objectively the quality of the content. So thanks for that. And Inside is hoping that with our 50 newsletters, maybe the top 10% would make for great live events. And so this is our test of that. The goal here is, with any live event, one, have people show up, check. The room is packed, there's only 2 open seats, and I think those are ours. 2, great content, which I think Emmy award-winning producer Jackie did an amazing job. She's not in the room, but we'll give her a round of applause. Let's give it up for Emmy award-winning producer Jackie. Ah, there she is. Thank you, Jackie. And now she'll run out and go count her Emmys. 4 Emmys. And so you want the room to be packed, just in terms of events. This is what I always worry about in 25 years. 2, great content. 3, great networking. I looked at y'all's titles. How many people have AI, machine learning, or something to that effect in their title or primary job function? Raise your hand nice and high. Great. So maybe I was about 70%. How many people in the room are investors? Raise your hand nice and high. Great, which is the other group of people who are here. The founders, you saw the investors. Commit that to memory. You get them during lunch. A couple of ground rules for okay, so number 1, people showed up. Number 2, great content. Number 3, great networking. And number 4, don't lose money. And that's always what you want to make sure you don't do with these events. Our hope is to do this now 3 more times in the next year. So this is planting a flag for us, Rob, myself, IBM, and y'all coming. But we want to continue this discussion. And our hope was to focus this not on the conversations of general AI taking over and murdering us all.
Right.
We're tired of that discussion.
Right.
Are you tired of that discussion?
I'm very tired of that discussion.
And that's going to happen either way. There's no stopping that. So we might as well just enjoy the rest of our lives and the half of our children's lives that they get to live before they're murdered in the fiery apocalypse of general AI, correct?
Yeah, or it could turn out good. I mean, we don't have a talk on that today, but I'm not concerned about the killer AI yet.
Great. So just so we level set, today is about executing on machine learning and AI in the enterprise, in startups, and how this is going to help humanity maybe be a little bit better, right?
Yeah, it seems like the gap in content around AI is really, there's tons of places you can go and learn about the newest, neural network topology or whatever. There's not a lot of places you can go and talk to people about how your marketing message needs to change, should you talk about AI or not. But there's a lot of people that have been through that and can tell you for certain types of customers you do, for certain types of customers you don't. So this is really very much about applied AI, how to actually take it to market, how to build real products, all that cool stuff.
When you're looking at a company, and you're an expert on AI and machine learning, I'm not. When you're looking at a company and they say, and of course it's AI, machine learning powered, and they sprinkle all that pixie dust all over it, how do you know if they're full of shit or if they're actually implementing machine learning and AI? How do you determine that? Because I don't have a system for that. People are like, JCal, it's Uber but with AI. It's Twitter but with AI. It's Dollar Shave Club but with AI. I don't know. How do I know? And how does a razor become sentient?
Well, it's, let's hope razors don't become sentient. But smart technical people will disagree over the taxonomy of AI a little bit, right? Is it data science, AI, machine learning? Is it machine learning, AI is under that? Is it AI and machine learning and data science? So you could debate about it, but the thing that I always look for is, are you putting something out in the world that without any more intervention from the company that gave it to you, it's going to learn and adapt?
Okay, I'm going to repeat that back to you so that I can remember it and take it to heart. Are you putting a product into the world that gets better, perhaps even smarter would be a way to say it, without additional intervention from the team that built it?
Well, I wouldn't say it gets better, right? I mean, you guys have all heard like Microsoft Tay, and there are examples like that, but it learns and adapts. It could learn and adapt in bad ways.
Okay, so you're putting a product into the world that learns and adapts without the intervention of the team that built it.
Right.
Okay, I think that's a pretty good definition.
Which raises a bunch of practical applications, like how do you test things like that?
How do you test things like that?
You don't know what changes it's going to have as it goes out into the world. That's an applied problem that not a lot of people are working on, except those of us that build these tools and then get customers that email us and we go, wow.
Great. And I guess the way you would learn that is, does the product NPS score, Net Promoter Score, go up? Does the usage of the product go up? Does the engagement of the product go up? But as we've seen, in reality, making a product go up and to the right and increasing engagement, i.e. YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, it could lead to, let's call it the loss of democracy and or chaos.
Yes, but one of the good things about AI is that I think, so I was an electrical engineering major and I never had to have an ethics class. If you're a civil engineering major, you do, right? Because you can't skimp and have a bridge fall down. And I think what we've learned from the internet wave and the social media wave is that maybe all kinds of engineers should have ethics courses, right? There's been a lot of problems with social media, and I think that's changing with AI. I think that's really made people think about it, and so I think you're seeing the developers of AI think more about ethics and morality and legality and things than the last couple of waves of technology.
Great. We decided to go with a format today of no panels, because panels means A, nobody prepares, B, everybody competes for how many minutes they get, and then the loudest, most obnoxious voice, typically me, takes over. Instead, we went with, hey, let's give everybody 15, 20 minutes to stand on their own. Let's require they do a rehearsal with Emmy Award-winning producer Jackie, which is arduous, and people sometimes then back out. Every event, when we put rehearsals in, literally 10%, 5%, one or two of the 10 or 20 speakers back out because their dog ate their PowerPoint. What this means is for you, the audience, you're going to get the chance to rate all these speakers. We're going to email you a survey tonight. Rate them honestly. We then take whoever the highest scoring are, we invite them to the next event, and we give them twice as much time. That's a pretty good system, isn't it? And then the people who have the lowest scores, we thank them, and we thank them. So no pressure on the speakers. Why don't you go ahead and introduce our first speaker?
So the first speaker has been a friend of mine for a long time from Louisville, Kentucky. I met Todd Earwood because we did a business together where we both lost a lot of our own money and learned a lot of lessons there. And he was my first call when I started investing. So he's going to come up and share with you guys some of the lessons that he's learned coaching our companies in how to sell AI to investors, to end customers, and overcome their common objections.
Great. We're going to put 20 minutes on the clock. Todd, if you want to take two questions, just try to finish at about 17 minutes, and we'll take two questions from the audience. When we take questions, there's a microphone here. We'll ask that you line up when there's about 17 minutes into the 20-minute presentations, which would be at 10:07 for this one. And when you go up and ask a question, please ask a concise question, one of them, and do not feel the need to promote your legal, headhunting, or other services to the audience. If somebody does pitch from the microphone instead of asking a concise question, we have a tradition at launch events to groan. And we're going to practice that right now. 3, 2, groan. Great. Now, if you're that guy in the audience, because it's never a woman, by the way, they're just too self-aware. But if you're that guy in the audience who wants to promote their product or service, be aware that we're all going to go 3, 2, when you do it. And I'm going to call you out by name and company, which will then lose customers. Please don't do that bullshit, okay, and ruin the event. Please welcome to the stage Todd Earwood.